You mentioned Madison Bumgarner. Angels didn't get him. The Diamondbacks come out of nowhere in a way and sign Madison Bumgarner. It's not for that much money, Jake. It's a 5-year deal for $85 million with $15 million deferred, meaning he's not going to get that. He's not going to get the $15 million paid in these first 5 years, which brings the AAV average annual value to $14 million, I believe I read. I didn't do the math. It's not a math pod. $14 million a year for 5 years. That's light for Madison Bumgarner. For especially after the Wheeler deal, we all thought, oh, Bum's going to get 100 as well. He gets 84 with deferred. Very interesting. Now they said that it was a location thing. Like he liked Arizona. He had similar or better offers on the table that he was like, I want to go to Arizona and play there. Someone tweeted out, I forget the writer. I wish I could give him credit, but I forget the name right now. Tweeted out, like, I could probably find it. Like, hey, no one's talking about Arizona for Bumgarner. He has horses there, and he really likes it. He may go there.
Isn't that funny, man? I mean, we get so lost in the hometown discounts, or guy wants to be East Coast or West Coast, and sometimes there's a factor. And you think about what we know about Madison Bumgarner. I'm assuming his agent went to Arizona and basically said, "Hey, if you roll out a similar deal to what Atlanta or whatever these other teams are offering me, I'm coming through."
So it became like a meme. This dude, Andrew Braggerly, he tweeted out, nobody has mentioned Diamondbacks much in the Bumgarner pursuit, but if their interest is legitimate, Phoenix would be a very desirable landing spot for Bum. He has horses there, loves the area. And people kind of laughed at it. And then the report was, no, like location mattered for him. I like this signing for Bumgarner because I think he stays in the NL West. He's going to pitch in a lot of big ballparks soon, still. Nice weather, and just kind of do his thing. Like we thought he was going to come to the NL East or the AL East, and I was like, I don't think I had no interest in seeing him in the AL East. I just think it would be a sad tale facing the DH in small ballparks. It's completely different than what he's had his whole career. Not saying he's going to be terrible, but he definitely, every single pitcher that pitches with an out given to you, and in those big ballparks in the West, they get benefited from those. It's not a hot take to say that. So I like that he stays there, stays put. I mean, to see him it's almost nice that he stays in that division because, yeah, okay, good. I don't have to deal with that much change now.
Yeah, I was seeing some of my Rockies tweets from a couple of the guys I follow for them out here, and they were. I mean, you have to think about what they've seen with Madison Bumgarner. They've seen basically ace Madison Bumgarner for 7-8 years or whatever it's been. So my Rockies buddies were like, God damn it. That dude's still hanging out and he's not with us. Okay, that sucks. And then Giants fans were pissed off too because, like you've mentioned a few times, that Bay Area / the Giants themselves have this kind of history of keeping their dudes. I mean,
just
Buster Posey. Yeah. And now when that contract comes out, because you're right, all the rumors were like, wow, Mad Bum might clear 100 by a lot. Now guys are looking at this like, could we have kept Mad Bum for what he's going to give us and the value that might be in this contract? Like, if Mad Bum gives you 3 good years as a third starter, I think this contract pays itself off, and he could very well do that. So I know a lot of the NL West wasn't happy. It's kind of the surprise signing, I'd say, of the offseason so far. I mean, what would rival it? Moustakas? But, I mean, you can still make sense of that.
Yeah, no, they came out of nowhere for me. I didn't know he had horses there, so that's my fault. I also thought this line was good. Bumgarner, $85 million. The Diamondbacks, it's the second largest contract the Diamondbacks have given out in franchise history, behind the one they gave Zach Greinke in 2015. And they get another pitcher who can hit. And by hit, we mean have a 540 OPS, but does get one hit in every 20 plate appearances. And people say, oh, I love when a pitcher can rake.
Whoa. Yeah, and a little a fun. I mean, we'll do an NL West day somewhere on this, but yeah, man. I mean, the NL West is just like you look at Arizona's pitching staff, and you're like, okay, Mad Bum, Robbie Ray, Luke Weaver. They got that guy that came from overseas last year. I forget his name. And yeah, you just go through all these NL West teams and be like, Herman Marquez could be an ace or he could be bad. You could do the same thing with like a lot of the dudes on the Padres, the Rockies, and the Diamondbacks. I have no idea how that's going to sort out, but I'm excited to see it.
What's interesting, man. So I'm not smart enough because a lot of people
Sure.
I've read, go to read comments and read up about these things, and they're like, man, Diamondbacks are doing a great job. Like, these are some really smart moves they've made. They got rid of Greinke. They're paying him $30 million a year, and then they bring in Bum for $14 million a year, and to replace him, they might trade Robbie Ray now, and they're like, hey, they might be good. I'm not smart enough to see that vision, so like I'm not denying it, but I'm like, I don't see how you guys are good next year. But I've read a bunch of places that I usually read, and they're like, yeah, Diamondbacks are going to be doing big things. And I'm kind of like you. Like, they seem still like an 85-win team and that misses the wild card, even with Bum. I'm not trying to be a hater. I just don't see it.
They won 85 games last year. Eduardo Escobar, he could be one of the most underrated players in baseball. I like him. I mean, Ketel Marte had a crazy year. I mean, they've got some question marks. Like, I think the Juice Ball was they're a team that benefited from that on offense. A lot of their lineup aren't names that you know. I mean, Christian Walker hit 29 home runs last year for them. So, I mean, it'll be interesting to see what they put together. But yeah, there's not a lot of names that scare you. The name I was blanking on was Merrill Kelly. So you replace more than half a year of Greinke with Mad Bum. I don't know. Again, that whole division is going to be like, who takes a jump next year? Does Luke Weaver build off his really 12 impressive starts for them? I don't know.